Bonjour, peeps. That's hello in Potawatomi, peeps. Good Sunday morning, afternoon, wherever you're at. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page and the card draw information for the day. That's I call it our spiritual roundtable in the cyber world, right? So welcome. I appreciate you being here. I know that we had skipped yesterday, which was Saturday. Oh, and by the way, today is August 19th. Can you believe that? This month is just going by so fast. Because I'm in the middle of teaching a class right now. And so Saturday was kind of, I needed to be focused on the class, right? And so today we're past the really, intense kind of information. And so we can do this card draw information about sacred geometry. And we're waiting for some people to show up because I know that some people thought I was going to be here yesterday, and it's like, where were you? I just want to check something because sometimes Facebook, I don't know why, sometimes I don't see the comments when they come in. And so I'm just double checking to make sure that the live stream is actually working. And I got to find it. Here we are. And while I'm here, I may as well like it and share it, right? While I'm here. Let's see. We're going to share it to my timeline. We're just going to put something quick there. And because a lot of times I forget to do this piece. I don't know why. It's just for this particular live stream. The other shows I usually remember to do that, but for this one, not always. All right, so I'm just going to say I'm live streaming. And we'll say, please join me. And don't you like those quick button keys that pop up? That way you don't have to spell everything out. There we go. That's to the timeline. And then I'm going to share it to the Star Nations Radio Network closed group. And that closed group is a place where a good majority of our Star Nations community kind of hangs out. So we want to make sure that they know and let them know that I'm live streaming. And let's see. This is the one that is spelling. And it, like I said, it's not so much spelling, is the size of the keys and not hitting the right ones. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Live streaming, and please join me. Here we go. Now that works. There. And I'm going to look to make sure that we have, I'm just going to write myself a comment just to make sure that it comes in. There it is. Good. It's always a good way to double check to make sure that the comments are working. So for those, hey, Rochelle, welcome. So glad. Hey, I did get your telephone call. I've just been kind of busy, so I will return it, okay? But probably not till this afternoon, all right? I know. I'm glad you're here, Rochelle. All right, so for those who are just joining us maybe for the first time, and if I could ask my guest to turn off the back lights for me, because it's got quite a glare going on back there. It's the far one on the right-hand side. Nope. Nope. There we go. Good, thank you. It's always good to have somebody around to do those kinds of things, huh? Thank you. Sure. All right, and so these are the cards that we're using. It's called the Sacred Geometry Oracle Deck by Francine Hart. Now, this particular deck I found back in 2002. It's got a copyright of 2001. And at the time, there weren't that many sacred geometry decks out there. There probably are many more now. I just haven't looked. This is one of my first one, and I think it still has really good information in it. And so today's card draw, now we get two cards in this reading because the way Francine has the deck set up is that we get two cards because one represents the male energy and the other one the female energy. And so when we put them together, we have it's whole, right, with a W, W-H-O-L-E. And then that's how we bring it into our awareness, into our energy field. So it becomes balanced. So, hey, Elise just joined us. Good morning there, Elise. And if Marianne's with you, good morning to you too, Marianne. So this is the first card that came. It's the Icosahedron. The Icosahedron. And the Icosahedron is one of the 5 platonic solids, which is the building blocks of all life. And it's found in Metatron's cube. And the icosahedron represents the spirit of water. All right, so the element of water. Notice the triangles. Yeah, that's the icosahedron. So for me, it also represents the spirit of the West on the medicine wheel. My platonic friends, that's what I call them, those 5 platonics, my platonic friends. So here's what Francine says about the icosahedron. It has, let's see, she says that one of the 5 3-dimensional geometric shapes called the platonic solids. And she says that we call them the cosmic volumes, is what she calls the platonic solids. And when I read that, I thought, oh, I like that. The cosmic volumes, because that was their name long before Plato's time, and because they hold within their structure cosmic wisdom. And just with that, cosmic wisdom would be a great name for a book, wouldn't it? Cosmic wisdom. The icosahedron has 20 equal triangular faces. These geometric solid represents the beginning of a new consciousness and water, liquid, and female. So water, a new consciousness, liquid, and female. And so if you have all those, you also have intuition, right? You have our emotions and our heart in the icosahedron. She says that choosing this card is the subject, suggests that the subject of your inquiry has been on your mind for some time. All right, so the intention for the card draws is that showing us the energy that's most important for us to know about today. And so what this card is saying is that this has been on at least my mind for some time, and which is true. And really on Earth time perspective, I've been doing these kind of card draws for probably a good 15, 20 years. And so, and it just helps me to understand how the day unfolds. And when you get those aha moments for me, it's like, oh, that was in the information that I read this morning. And so it helps me, has always helped me with perspective. And then when I started adding it to the Instagram account for Star Nations and adding that information on there, hoping that it would help others in just that one sentence that they say, hey, that happened to me today, or I saw that today, right? Marcelle is saying, that's so cool. Hey, Rob Kendall just joined us. Hi, Rob. Good morning to you. And, we have to do this, right? Whoops. Let's see if I can get this right. How about, I got to go the opposite. There we go. Contains my morning coffee. And it's good because I need the caffeine. Sitting next to somebody who doesn't drink caffeine. I can't. She says I can't. Yes, I do have my guest here that we're studying sacred geometry, and she chose not to be on camera. I know. I've had those before, haven't I? Howdy, ma'am. Good morning, Rob. It's always good to see you in the chat because you always make me smile. That sense of humor that you have. All right, so she says that ruminating about this question is kind of like a continuous loop, moving around and around and going nowhere. Now, how many of us have ever done that? Right? I have. And she says that it's time to seek a new perspective, because that is the energy of the Icosahedron card in this deck, is about perspective. So it's about seeking a new perspective. Ask for inner guidance from the female receptive aspect of your being, and allow this flow to enter into your thoughts in a way that will release old patterns. And I think we could all use a little bit of that, right? And bring light and higher wisdom. Now, if we just drew that card, just that single card for today, I think that it would touch just about everybody in the chat, and also who would be listening to the recording, right? Because I think that we've all been there. We've all had a situation or a thought on our minds that keeps going round and round and round, and we're trying to, we're looking for that resolution or that solution, and it's hard to let it go. And I think that when we get like that, we start to shut down other ways of sensing information. That's why I think it's good. It's important to have other people around you that you can kind of say, I've been kind of thinking about this, and I'm not sure exactly how the outcome's going to be or what I can do about it. And sometimes having that good friend, and we should all have one of those, a couple of those in our inner circle that we trust, right? And so that we can sit down and talk about it, so that they can help disrupt the cycle, that loop, and remind us of our gifts and our tools. And so that we can maybe look at it in a new perspective. That's what this card is about, is looking at something in a new way. It's disrupting that mental loop that we get in sometimes. And we've all been there. And who wouldn't benefit from releasing an old pattern, right? Yeah. Rob is saying, never trust anyone who doesn't drink coffee. She used to. And she drinks the decaf. Yeah. We're chuckling about that one. All right, so Elise says, met Irvin and Tracy yesterday. Aren't they wonderful souls? I love them. He talked about using the grids with stones, like his awesome article in the Star Nations magazine. Yeah, he did. Hope people read it. They could learn so much. Thank you, Elise. I appreciate that. I really do. And in fact, when the live stream's done, what I can do is put the link in the comments, okay? So that'd be helpful for those who don't know how to get to the magazine and to order it. We can help them out. Rochelle said, yesterday class intro to crystals was fantastic. So you were both in the same class? How cool is that? Both you and Rochelle. Put your face on camera, girl.
Who's that from?
That's from Elise.
You've seen my face on camera, girl.
Because they can hear you. Oh, and Mary's here. Mary Sakowitz. Thank you so much, Mary, for being here. She drinks unleaded. Yes, she does. But that's for a prescribed reason, right? A prescribed reason. I think she used to drink leaded a long time ago. And this is what I tease people about this, okay? It's kind of like those people who drink Mountain Dew, but when they buy Mountain Dew, they get the diet and the decaffeinated, or the caffeine free. What's the point? What's the point? Oh my gosh! All right, so. When we have this kind of out of balance, okay, when we have that mental loop going on, and we're not using our intuition, we're not using our female energies to look at a situation from a different perspective, right? When it's out of balance. Francine says sometimes It's because there are so many possibilities that we just can't choose, that it's kind of overwhelming because, we can see the positives and negatives in all of them. And it's like, so which one's the best one? And some people make those lists, right? The pros and the cons, which is a good practice. But that is also mostly a mental practice, and not really tapping into your intuition. All right, but we also have to keep in mind, pun intended, is that this first card in the card draw, in the layout, lays in the right hand side, and that is the male energy. And so the male energy is about logic, it's about the mind and thoughts, and it also represents Grandfather Sky, right? So we're supposed to take this in through those areas of our lives, those aspects, the mental aspect. And so for me, I sit here and I think, all right, Icosahedron, female, intuition, water. And we're supposed to take in this information about the Icosahedron through our male energies about mind and thought. Right? Interesting. Now, some people would say that is balance. If you can do that, that's balance. There's other people who would say, that's a contradiction. Elise says, I haven't gotten my magazine yet. Where could it be? It's probably in the mail. It takes about 7 to 10 days once it's ordered, because it's print on demand, right, from MagCloud. And so it should be arriving, I would think, somewhere around Wednesday this coming week. This week? Yeah, something like that. And Rob is saying decaffeinated is Latin for what's the point? That's good. Rochelle says, yes, that's me. Love mountain decaf and diet. Oh my gosh. Hey, Stephanie's here. Good morning, Stephanie. And Margaret. Good morning, Margaret. I'm so glad you're here with us. Rochelle, have you tasted Werner's? Yes, I did. Paul likes it a lot, actually, that the non-diet. Mom doesn't like ginger-based sodas. She did taste it, and she says, oh, this isn't for me. I did taste it, and I have to tell you, Rochelle, that to me, I didn't really taste the ginger. To me, it tasted like cream soda. If anybody remembers what the cream soda. Well, we have some in the refrigerator, both diet and non-diet. So, yeah, her inner child screaming over here, yay! All right, so yes, it was good. It was good, but I'm not much of a soda drinker. So Mom and I split one, and no, but thank you so much. It was Paul loves it, and I think this lady's over here. She's going to be raiding the refrigerator when we get down to the house. So yes, Stephanie, 20-sided triangles for icosahedron. It represents water, the spirit of water, intuition. It's female. Stephanie, don't you know we're never late? She says, coming in late. We're never late. We're always right on time. It's called divine timing. You're here exactly when you should be. You need to be. Stephanie's saying, my phone and schedule has been wonky. The 30th, I start day 1 of the archives of Neshi's non-show. I think that name's going to stick. I think so. Neshi's non-show. Kind of sounds like nonsense, doesn't it? Let me think about that one. All right, so this is the first card, the icosahedron. The second card. Everybody will recognize this one. The circle. Yep, the circle. I like the colors on this one. These blues. All right, so this represents wholeness and potential. Wholeness and potential. That's with a W. Wholeness and potential. In accordance with unity in spirit, Francine says, the circle represents a beginning with no end. A beginning with no end. It's kind of like the definition of the golden mean. It has a distinct beginning but no end. It is ever growing, ever expanding potential. I like that. Finding yourself in the circle provides you with the opportunity to view the whole of existence in its holographic oneness. So when you're in the circle, you're experiencing the opportunity to view the whole of existence. Oneness. From the sacred center of creation comes unlimited potential and infinite possibility. Where did I just read that? It could have been about the tiny space of the heart. That's what it looks like. Uh-huh. You know, spirit, you have to admit, it has a sense of humor. And this morning, it's evident that it is a very sharp and keen sense of humor. Because we're covering the tiny space of the heart information and doing meditations this afternoon about it. Yep, and that's basically the definition of the tiny space of the heart. It's the center of creation, comes unlimited potential and infinite possibility. She says that which is yet to come will find form and meaning in your life as you create the intentions that will become your reality. So all of creation is in the center. So, and we've talked about this lots of different ways in these card draws, right? The void also is described this way. It's where the formless becomes form. That is a place of all of creation. It's where the platonic solids reside in the sixth dimension. Yeah. We have to laugh over here. Spirit has been, this is funny. Okay, so Robert's saying there are two types of truth, trivial truths and great truths. The opposite of a trivial truth is clearly false. The opposite of the great truth is also true. Niels Bohr. That's interesting. I like that quote. The opposite of a trivial truth is clearly false. The opposite of a great truth is also true. Huh. Rob's saying, gotta go, gotta catch the non-archives. All right. Thanks for joining us when you did, Rob. We appreciate that. Have a good Sunday, okay? And Rochelle says, in the tiny, tiny essence of my heart, the entrance is a square. Go figure. Well, you know, it's unique only to you, Rochelle. That's part of the beauty of it. That is unique to each one of us. It's different because each one of us are unique, right? Okay, so Francine says the self is guided by oneness and a knowing that you are breath and fiber of all that is. That you are breath and fiber of all that is. When you're in the center. Yours then is a path toward the wholeness of self that begins with the emptiness of the void, the unknowing great mystery of the universe. Pre-manifest and empty, it holds a message of potential. This is the moment of creation that expresses itself as unity and spirit acting within your being. So, in this place, we're whole. We're not bits and pieces, fractured. In this place, we're whole. We're a whole being. And that's our soul, right? The spirit of us individually in this together. She says, allow yourself to experience the beauty of your divine nature and acknowledge that you are part of a magnificent whole. The potential of wholeness is ever present. And if this represents the entire universe, and I'm going to equate it to the tiny space of the heart, this is the place where we truly remember and understand all of my relation. Because we're all one in this place. It's not until we get into this dimension, whether it's the third, fourth, or fifth, really, the challenge isn't in loving and remembering the tree is our relative, or the stones are our relatives, or the four-legged is our relative. It's the two-legged that give us the challenge, right? And they're the ones that are the assistants in helping us to learn our life lessons, and also in the application of our gifts. So it's all I can say. It's a wondrous life, right? And I love doing these card draws with the sacred geometry, especially this morning when I pulled that circle and knew that we're going to be talking about the tiny space of the heart. Well, okay, so with these two cards, let me pull them both out. Looking at how they came to us today and how the energy is unfolding, what's important for us to know about today, right? And for me, it's about remembering, understanding that we're whole beings and that we are creative. We are meant to create, and we're meant to use our gifts also through our intuition and the female aspect of us. That when we create from our hearts, the negativity, or the, how do we want to say that? The negativity isn't there, isn't present in the space of love. That's what I got out of that. She's agreeing with me. She's not going to say anything because you can recognize her voice. What? There's no fear. She says there's no fear. That's a good one. There's no fear. Right. So how does that feel to you guys? Is that when we're living our lives from our hearts, creating from our hearts, we're in our wholeness and we're using our gifts and our intuition out of love, within love. We're in the circle. In the circle. That's Sunday card draw. Thank you for being with me this morning. I appreciate it. I know this is a little bit shorter than usual, but we have to get back to class because we have meditations to do today. And I appreciate it. And I'm so glad you guys came to join me this morning, especially, even those in the archives, appreciate it, in those recorded shows. Let me let you know that shows that are coming up this coming week. Let's see, we have Julie Hedges on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, that's right. And I can't remember what her topic is on. I think it's about our gifts, if I remember right. And Tuesday, of course, we have Polly Jo at noon Eastern time. And her topic is neither one of us, I can't remember what it is. Of course, I'm kind of in the teaching mode, so it's not really radio or live stream show stuff. But she's on at noon on Tuesday, and then my show, Communications from Home, is on at 9 p.m. We're an hour later this coming Tuesday because Paul Krause is on at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with his guest, Francis Robbins. And so Paul's going to be in this new time slot just for this coming Tuesday. Robin had some conflict with time and place and that kind of stuff. And so Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern is Paul Krause's show. And then I'm going to follow him at 9, okay? And for Communications from Home. And my guest will be Polly Jola Bay, and we're going to be talking about chakras and how they help us to ground our manifestations to the earth plane in the 4th dimension and the 5th dimension. That's our topic. So you're going to have to join us for that. And of course, Wednesday, Polly Jo's back for Soul Connections at 7 p.m. Eastern. So that is at least a taste of what shows are coming up this week. And if you can join us, that'd be great. Elise is saying, when you create from your heart, it's pure love. Yes, it is. And Michelle, Circle of Life. That's right. Sacred Hoop. Used to be the name of one of my businesses. Mary said, thank you and have a wonderful day. To you too. And you're welcome, Margaret. It's good to have you in the chat, Stephanie. Thank you for being here. And Elise says, hugs to all of you, even that girl in the corner. She's not quite in the corner, but she's out of camera range. All right. So, remember, just whatever you heard today, if it resonated with you, yay, pick it up, embrace it. Watch how it unfolds for you today. Are you the participant? Are you a witness? Right? Something always to learn. And if it didn't resonate with you, that's okay. Maybe you're just the messenger. Share it with someone that you know that might enjoy it. And Stephanie, a question for the both of you. Which chakra does laughter come from? She's saying heart and throat. I had heart, but I also had the sacral. Because where do belly laughs come from? When it's just so intense, and those are the ones that kind of that you're laughing so hard that you're crying, or you're saying stop, my back hurts. That comes from the belly laugh, right? So that's the two that I had. Yeah. So check it out, Stephanie. Between those two answers, which one resonates with you? Because that will be the right one for you, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And Esperanza, she just joined. Good morning. Yes. The live stream is recorded like seconds after we're done, and so you can always catch the recorded show like seconds after we're finished. Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you tomorrow morning, Monday, for the next card draw. Okay. Bama Nina. That's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Love you guys.